Madam Chair, Supervisors, Administrator, my name is Drew Heaton. You know me well as the Libertarian Party Chairman in Pima County. In basic terms, the Libertarian is simply someone who is against the use of force against peaceful people in civil society. As individuals with influence in our community, you and I, we have a responsibility to promote peace. We must do all we can to resist the divisiveness that fuels animosity in our neighborhoods. One of the most significant ways we can do this is to differentiate between individuals and groups. We must differentiate between the people in a country and their government. As libertarians, we do not pick a nation state to defend, but rather stand on the principles where we side with the inherent rights of all human beings, not governments. Violent aggression against innocent civilians does not justify violent aggression against innocent civilians. As we are poised precariously on the brink of being nudged into world war, I implore each of you to consider the wisdom of two-time Medal of Honor recipient, World War I Marine Corps veteran Major General Smedley D. Butler, who wrote, "War is a racket. It always has been. It is possibly the oldest, easily most profitable, surely the most vicious. It is the only one international in scope. It is the only one in which the profits are reckoned in dollars and the losses in lives." He also goes on to condemn that propaganda is so vicious that even God is brought into it to become murderous. I'd just like to end my comments with what C.S. Lewis has said. Even though he was a Christian, he said, "I believe in God, but I detest theocracy. For every government consists of mere men and is, strictly viewed, a makeshift. If it adds to its commands, thus saith the Lord, it lies, and it lies dangerously."
Thank you.
All right, supervisors, good morning. My name is Peter Norquest. My question today is, why is the Pima County Board of Supervisors offering proclamations about the Israel-Palestine conflict? It's an international issue that falls outside your purview, and of the 32 wars currently happening around the world, many of which involve terrorist attacks and insurgencies, nearly all occurring in Africa, there has been no proclamation. So why the sole exception? If one claims to stand with Israel, by which it is normally understood that the Israeli government is indicated, let's not forget that Israel was one of the first countries to implement draconian vaccination mandates on its own citizens. Israelis were told that they could not enter certain venues without a vaccination card, such as restaurants, gyms, swimming pools, and hotels. In 2020, Israel struck a deal with Pfizer, promising to share vast troves of medical data with Pfizer in exchange for the continued flow of its experimental vaccine. This was the value that the Israeli government placed on the lives of its own citizens, to use them as lab rats. The main point I wish to make today is that the media is conditioning the public around the world to believe that this is a black and white either-or issue. Choose Israel or choose Palestine, and by extension Hamas, itself originally created by Israel to be a counterweight to the PLO. In reality, there are two sides, but not the ones that we are being offered. The true sides are the Israeli and Palestinian civilians versus their respective governments. It's the height of folly to stand with any government that is willing to sacrifice civilians, whether its own or others, toward its own selfish interests. Let's see this conflict for what it is and not allow ourselves to be emotionally manipulated into supporting the globalist anti-human agenda. Thank you.
Aaron?